I added books to my book collection, of course. It is my May book haul. The first 3 books I have to show to you guys, I technically bought the last day of April. One of the last days of April. I had already done my April book haul and I wasn't planning on it, but it was the day of International Tabletop Day and I went to my local event and I just wasn't feeling the atmosphere of like people that were there. So I left a bit early, and of course on my way home I stopped at an independent bookshop called Biblioasis here in Windsor, and I've never stopped in before, and I was like, why not? Let's just get off the bus and see what is in store. Let me tell you, walking into an independent bookstore and you walk in and you can smell the books. It is the most amazing atmospheric smell it was amazing. It was something like local, it was like independent bookshop day, so it was like everything was 15% off the store, plus they had some local authors in to just chat and ask questions, and there was one author called Melanie Janice. Sorry, I butcher names all the time, and she was there. She has like a book of poems that she had to display, and poetry is not my thing, maybe not yet, who knows, but I got chatting with her, also with the woman who was working at the store. Sorry, I forgot what her name was, but I, talked about BookTube a lot, and they're like, what is this? And I told them. So I wasn't planning on getting any books, but I had expressed that I wanted to read more Canadian literature, or just more diverse literature in general, to shy away from young adult just a little bit. And so I basically got some recommendations shoved at me, and I decided to get them because, hey, why not? It's diverse reading, and it's reading something different that you're not used to. So the first book I got was Sexing the Cherry by Jeanette Winterson, and I have since found booktubers that have talked about Jeanette Winterson, namely one, and that's Sophie Carlin from Australia, and so I am going to be reading this hopefully sometime in the near future. It sounds a bit like magical realism, which I do enjoy. It's one of those books that I plan on going in blind and just experiencing it. Next, I have A Complicated Kindness by Miriam Towes. This book talks a lot about like what binds a family together and tears it apart, dealing with loss and things of that nature, and I think I will enjoy that a lot. I don't read enough of that kind of thing, and I do want to, so this was another book that was shoved at me, and I happily shoved money right back at them. And then while we were talking, someone said Atwood, and I went, I've been meaning to get a Margaret Atwood book for a long time, and I just forget every time I go to chapters to look up some Margaret Atwood. So I got The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, and luckily this is the edition that I wanted. I really like it. It's very scrabbly. Next book I have to share with you is a really random one because I had charged my Kindle, and I just was looking at the books that I had on there from like a long time ago, and I had the first series of like Percy Jackson and the Olympians, except for the first book, and I kind of wanted to read it just to see. I know I had read it before, but I don't know why I didn't have it on this Kindle, so I bought it, and that is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I don't know if you could see that. I got it for my Kindle because it was the only one of that first series that I did not have. We're just gonna keep going in the things that Kayla doesn't normally do. 1, buy ebooks, and 2, buy graphic novels. I've heard of Rat Queens before, and I was like, but I watched Critical Role, and in their latest issue 16, which is not going to be part of these 3 volumes that I bought, they, the Dungeons & Dragons adventure group that they play with, Vox Machina, makes a cameo appearance. And so I looked it up and I'm like, okay, so this is basically D&D, and it is sassy as book. Like, oh my god. This is the exception to my rule, basically. I was willing to delve into Rat Queens, so I bought the first 3 volumes of Rat Queens. I gave it, I think, I'm not gonna tell you what I thought about it. That's for my wrap-up video. Ha ha ha. I took a gamble with buying all 3 volumes, but, you know, shit happens. These are not for kids, they're for grown-ups, because there's strong language and nudity and sex in it. Because I am a sucker for paperbacks, Felicia Day's book, You're Never Weird on the Internet, almost, was released in paperback in May, so I got it, and hopefully I will be reading it soon, because I love Felicia Day. She is the nerd queen. Next I have The Butcher's Hook by Janet Ellis. This is a book that I've heard, I forget who I heard it from, but I saw this in someone's wrap-up video in the last month or so, and it sounded like a really interesting book to read. It just gave the atmosphere of a very Victorian London Jack the Ripper-esque kind of book, because The Butcher's Hook is for murder, so Victorian London murder book. Hannah Kent has blurbed it on the front. It says, utterly mesmeric. So there's that. I was going to the mall because I needed to get a new phone because I was so tired of having a cracked phone. I got a new phone and I asked Twitter, should I go to Chapters? Yes or no? Twitter poll. All the votes for yes, so I went to Chapters and I got some books because why not? Continuing on with the is Kayla gonna be turning into a person that reads graphic novels, I got Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. I just wanted to check it out and see if I would like it and see if we would continue on if Kayla will like graphic novels. Tune in for my wrap-up to know the answer to that. Because I'm not saying whether I liked it or not. I'm just shimmying. With the release of The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater, everyone's reading The Raven Cycle, and I wanted to jump on that bandwagon because I did read The Raven Boys last year. I finally picked up a copy of The Dream Thieves and Blue Lily Lily Blue, and I also have a copy of The Raven King on its way to me in paperback form from England. I got the UK cover of that. Hopefully, I'm really hoping, and it's probably not going to be because I'm really hoping that the spine is kind of the same, because I know there's a spine that's not the same, so I'm hoping. And the last book I have to share with you was a continuation of the whole let's get the next book into that series so that I can hurry up and finish that series and binge read it, and that is A Book of Spirit and Thieves by Morgan Rhodes. It's kind of one of those things of the Lunar Chronicles where I want to read her books as they were published. So I believe this came last year after Gathering Darkness. I haven't read Gathering Darkness yet. So I want to read that, this book, and then Frozen Tides, and then whatever book comes after next. This book is in that world, but it's like in the future and in Toronto, and I love me some Canada. Love me some Canada. Did you know Morgan Rhodes is Canadian? So there you have my May book haul. Just spending some more money on books and things. Let me know if you've read any of these books in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!